So I was reading this passage and it just made some connections for me. It made me think about something. So check this out. Have you ever been hurt by someone? Yeah, me too. Isaiah 11, starting at verse 8, says, "The nursing child shall play over the hole of the cobra, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the adder's den. They shall not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." You guys, the difference here, the hurt that would normally be experienced. Now they're talking about animals and people, but think about this between people and people, all right? And how he says the difference between them hurting one another is that the knowledge of the Lord's knowledge will fill the earth. And you think about Jesus on Calvary and how he said, "They know not what they do." They know not what they do. You know, Paul talks about how we know in part and we see in part. Sometimes we can look at people hurting one another or someone hurting us and we can think, man, they knew better. They should know. But could it be that there is not a complete understanding, a complete knowledge there that is leading us to hurt one another amongst mankind, amongst brothers and sisters? Could it be that when there is hurt between people, there's also a lack of understanding, there's a lack of knowledge, not just of one another in the situation, but the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord? Could it be that we are lacking, that there's not a full understanding, a full knowledge there of the situation, of one another, but more so of God, understanding him and his words? This makes all the more sense. Jesus' prayer and how we can also say in those moments when we feel hurt by someone, "God, they know not what they do." Surely there's some knowledge there, right? But we know in part, we see in part, only dimly. And we can either hold on to and say, man, with what they do see, even how dim it is, with what little they do know, even though it's only in part, they should know better. Or we can look at this to where even the cobra, even the adder, right? They will not hurt in his holy mountain because the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord. When there's hurt, when we're experiencing pain and hurt, maybe we need to pray for greater understanding and greater knowledge, not only for us, but for them, so that that doesn't continue to happen. We need to grow in knowing God. We need to grow in knowing and understanding one another. But it's in this knowledge, you guys, wow. The more we know him, the less likely we may be to hurt those we don't mean to hurt. Hold on to that. Then the more we know him, the less likely we may be to feel and experience hurt from others. Now, Jesus was taking some hurt, but he didn't let it sink down into his heart to where it became bitterness and unforgiveness, right? Because he was able to say, "They know not what they do." This isn't just any knowledge. This is the knowledge of the Lord. Get into your Bibles, y'all. Get into your Bibles. And maybe this right here, and growing in that, and just simply growing and knowing him, that'll help us not to cause hurt, not to cause more division, but to come together in greater love and unity.